Hi there, I'm Katy Rose, and welcome to the Rooted Reinvention, a podcast exploring the real-world journey of reinventing who we are without burning out or burning our whole life down. I teach people how to make lasting change by melding my Masters of Neuroscience and my Cognitive Therapy qualification with common self-help tools, spiritual concepts, and my personal experience. Because being yourself doesn't need to feel so damn hard. To get more information on podcast episodes, please visit rootedreinvention.com/podcast. This month marks a year of me recording a weekly podcast. In fact, I believe this might even be episode 52. And I've really struggled this week with knowing what topic I'm going to pick and how much I'm going to say about it. I'll link to an article I read, I believe it's from Itty Biz, that talks about the ebbs and flows of life, that as we go through our days, our weeks, our months, lunar cycles, the year, there are ebbs and there are flows. So there are times when we feel very energized, very excited, motivated. There are times when we are inspired, times when we just have some more energy, and then we're getting into a flow state. And there are other times when things just aren't adding up, don't make sense, won't fall into place, feel more difficult in general without any specific reason being required. Things just feel harder. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is part of being human. This is one of those myths that I was always trying to understand and find an answer to. When I couldn't work out, well, why don't I feel happy all the time? Why don't I feel like this? Why am I not able to do all these things today when I did them all yesterday? And it's because we're human beings. We're not algorithms in a computer. We're not boxes that can be checked. So I'm trying to fight against the kind of conditioning and the shoulds and the musts and the beliefs that I've held for decades in order to remember that, do you know what? It's okay to have downtime and uptime. It's okay to have ebbs and flows. And so what I wanted to just talk about today was when you're struggling to kind of feel in flow state, when you're struggling to connect with your purpose, to get into flow state, to focus, when you're struggling to stay connected to who you are, to those wild instincts inside, to what you actually want to be doing, then today I'm going to go through 3 methods of kind of getting back into flow, particularly if you're someone who quite often goes on autopilot and isn't very mindful all the time, but would like to become more aware of things and kind of take back a bit of that power, then today's episode's for you. So in a way, life forces us to flow with it. If life is a river, we are being carried downstream. Things happen and we respond. We're wired as humans to respond to the environment. That's what our brain does. And we all problem solve and make adjustments as we move through the day. So if there's no milk in the fridge, you will either go make toast instead, go buy some milk, have dry cereal without milk, whatever it is, go without breakfast, whatever it is. You're problem solving that. You're making adjustments to your life. The first way that I kind of can reconnect a little bit with that flow state is to pause. It's to take a break. I mentioned the quote in a previous episode that you are not a shark and therefore you will not die if you stop moving for a few minutes. So thinking about a mindful pause, when you hear me speak these words, what kind of things are appearing in your mind? What are you thinking about? What just happened before you put this podcast episode on, and what have you planned that you're going to do afterwards? Do you know what you're going to have for dinner tonight? What's your environment like? Is it quiet and peaceful? Have you got headphones in? Taking a mindful pause is a simple but not easy method of reconnecting with who you are and with the moment that is currently present. And whether we're in that ebb or that flow state, actually being present with what state we're in is half the battle. The fact that I know that I've been resisting recording this episode for 5 days, I think it's been on my list to sort of, I must do that. And here we are. The latest I've ever recorded the weekly podcast. But acknowledging that I'm in this place at the moment, the tide is out and I'm drained and I'm tired and it's okay. So being mindful, what can you see? What can you hear? What can you smell? What can you touch? Can you find 5 things in your environment around you that are blue? This may be your clothing, this may be a picture on the wall, it could be the sky, it could be the cat's eye, it could be a turquoise blue, it could be a periwinkle blue. Can you find 5 things that are blue in your current environment? Congrats, you've just spent a moment being mindful. And this is something that is key to getting back into that state of flow, into feeling like you are yourself again. The second tip when you're struggling with this is to see if you can create transition space. So when you think about your routines and the different events and activities and like to-do items that you need to do, how do you get from one task to the other? And I mean this both on a physical level, but also in your mental space. So are you able to put those 3 tasks that all involve the computer together first thing in the morning? Are you able to spend that 3-minute walk from one meeting to another listening to a 2-minute 50-second song on headphones? Do you know that actually you're going to be better off doing your writing after lunchtime because you'll have revamped your energy? Or do you know that after lunchtime you hit that slump and want a nap? Consider what works for you, and then find or create transitions. And if you don't know what to put in that transition, try a mindful pause. Find 5 things that are green. If you're struggling with kind of where these transition moments might be, particularly in the last year and a half where a lot of us have been working from home, the transitions that I think about are while the kettle boils, standing by the printer waiting for it to print, standing in a queue outside the pharmacy, the 3 advert breaks during the hour of television that I might watch, when I'm in the bathroom, shower, using the loo, brushing my teeth, whatever, you can kind of do mental exercises. When you're at the traffic lights, while you're doing chores. You don't need to change everything about your life, but those little spaces, even that 30 to 60 seconds when your kettle is boiling for you to do a couple of squats and to find 6 things that are pink, can really help reset your energy in that moment. These are moments that can help you kind of connect back with your flow, with who you are, with how you're feeling. And the third option is more of that physical check-in. So we spend so much of our time on autopilot that I find that doing a physical check-in can really help transform that relationship with us and our time and our energy and like the spaces that we inhabit. And it can really help you feel more in control of your life without actually changing anything on the outside. It's similar to the mindful pause, but it's much more focused on you and your experience. So the first thing I start with is halt. Are you hungry, angry, lonely, tired, or thirsty? They are the top 5 that I would go through. So, are you hungry? Go fuel yourself. Are you dehydrated? Drink some water. If you haven't had a shower in 4 days and don't feel up to it now, wash your hands and face in the sink. It'll take 30 seconds and it will just help give you that little bit of refreshment. Are you comfortable at the moment? How is your temperature? Are you sitting up with your back straight or is it arched over? Can you feel your weight resting on the floor or the seat or the surface that you're on? Are you in any pain? Do your eyes sting? Do you have a headache? Is listening to my voice really tiring you out and a lot of effort to stay focused? checking in with our body like this allows us to catch those kind of early warning signs that we're kind of getting disconnected from our life and reconnect and refuel ourselves so that we don't end up kind of burning out in the middle of something where we actually can't be burning out right now. We have to finish something. And the other side of this is to think about the mental aspect of it. So, what thoughts are going through my mind? How do I feel emotionally right now? What do I hope to get from today? What options and tools do I have if things go wrong today? Can I feel my feet on the floor? These are all questions that I ask when my brain might be kind of spinning a little bit out of control, and I just need that 5 seconds of reconnecting. And this is something that I'd like to do when I'm feeling both overwhelmed and frustrated and out of touch, but also when I'm in flow, kind of checking in and going, how do I feel right now? I feel good. What do I feel good about? Why do I feel good? Let's draw a map of what looking good looks like so that I then know what's missing when I don't feel good in the future. I do just want to add the caveat that although I've just talked about how we might want to go from feeling not good to feeling good, that the human's natural state is not happy/good/contented. Like, humans are designed to have emotional fluctuation, for our emotions to change, and for us to feel those emotions. My understanding is that if we don't engage our thoughts and reasons and beliefs behind emotion, the actual release of chemicals that leads to us having those feelings will only last about a minute if we don't feed it with an unhelpful thought or a rumination of something that happened or a worry of something that might happen in the future. Then if we just let ourselves feel that uncomfortable feeling, it would move through us and dissipate. And it is in our biology that we as humans experience feelings and emotions, and that we have a variety of them at any one time in our life. So if you are feeling a bit down, a bit tired, a bit fed up, that's okay. And it's just important then to look after yourself. As always, you can find articles and links relating to this topic in the show notes, but I hope everyone is safe and well, and I'll speak to you again next week. Bye.
Thanks for listening, and as always, you can find out more at rootedreinvention.com. Take care, remember you are more capable than you often realise, and I'll see you next time. Bye!